Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the next episode of Living Crafty and Cozy. Well, it's getting close to Halloween, and I know a lot of you guys are gearing up to have yourselves a Halloween party, costume party, go trick-or-treating, host people, all of that. So I wanted to put together a video of some really fun ideas you guys could do for some decor at your party and the food and beverages and all that. So let's get started. I am starting off with kind of like a decor slash beverage here. This is just going to be a punch bowl that you can use. I think it would make an excellent focal point for your table. So these are just two bowls that I picked up at Dollar Tree. I picked up the red. They're matching. Yours don't have to be matching, don't have to be red. I just like these two together because the smaller one just lifts the bigger one up and makes a really nice stand for it. And I'm just using E6000 and some hot glue to really get these glued together and really firm so nothing falls apart when you pour your punch in. And then I am hot gluing on these two skeleton hands that I also found at Dollar Tree. And it just looks like there's a skeleton holding the bowl out. It looks so cute. And I'm just giving it time to let it dry and set. This has been such a busy season. I can't believe that October is already come and gone just like that. We got a lot of activities planned that we've done already and that we're getting ready to do. So we're super busy this month, but my kids love it. So I'm trying to get into the Halloween mood for them. And here I am just taking a pair of clear gloves and getting them tied really tight, filling them with water, tying them tight. And we're going to throw these in the freezer. I ended up using some rubber bands to get them to close properly to where there's no leaking. And they do have to take I don't know, at least 6 hours to freeze because it's like a really big piece of ice there. So be super careful when you're taking the gloves off. You're going to want to submerge them maybe in some lukewarm water for a few seconds first. And even with all of that, I still ended up breaking a few fingers off when I poured my juice in. But it still looked great. I mean, the floating hands in the cranberry juice looked amazing. We're down a few digits, but the floating hands are really a fun and spooky way to do your beverage, whatever you choose to put in there. I think that this is a really good idea. You just got to be careful with the execution. Okay, next up, just touching on some decor. Don't forget to use any of your leftover napkins, decorative napkins or plates. I do this at my kids' birthday parties all the time. I just kind of fix them to some sort of a ribbon or rope, and you can make a fantastic looking garland, banner, something to hang up and just make it look more festive. So I wanted to do a couple of bread items for the Halloween food here. And I'm just taking these awesome breadsticks that I found at Walmart and some Munster cheese. You can get any type of white cheese and cheese slices. You want it to be nice and flat and cut them into strips. And then I found those bagel dogs at Walmart too. And just arranging them on their tray and throwing them in the microwave really quick while my breadsticks cook. The whole idea of both of these items are to make them look like mummies. So here I am just throwing the cheese slices or cheese strips onto the breadsticks right after they've come out of the air fryer. so that they're warm enough that they can kind of melt the cheese, not completely melt it, but just get it to form around the shape of the breadstick. And you're just going to keep going with that, doing crisscross and over patterns on each of your breadsticks. Even if you have pieces that break apart like that, no big deal. You don't want it to look super perfect because it's supposed to look like the tattered bandages of a mummy anyways. So just keep crisscrossing the cheese over your breadsticks. And you can see that first one, the cheese has started to melt and kind of like form around the breadstick. And there they are, all covered with the cheese strips. And here I'm just cutting up some olives to make eyes for the mummies. My husband kept telling me mummies don't have eyes. But I think that these look really good with the eyes. You guys comment below and tell me what you think. Should I do with the eyes or without the eyes? I think they look really cute with. Next, my bagel dogs are done, so I'm just taking them off the tray with a little help of my daughter and lining them up. And I'm taking these packets of sour cream and just cutting at the corner to where just a little bit will come out at a time so I can make strips across the bagel dogs. It's all just supposed to look like mummies. These ones didn't turn out as well as the breadsticks, but I left this part in just so you guys could get an idea and maybe throw some of your own creativity into it. What would you do to make this better? Or just look a little bit more mummy-ish? Either way, it would be a good appetizer to give at a party, the bagel dogs and everything, kind of like a twist on Pigs in a Blanket. And there are my mummy breadsticks. And next up, we're going to be doing some ghostly mac and cheese. I have got my son, my adorable son, to help me stir, to help me cook. This is just a homemade recipe. You guys can do boxed mac and cheese. You don't have to make it from scratch. If you are going to make it from scratch, I would just recommend using multiple cheeses just to get a balanced kind of a taste. And again, I'm taking the white cheese slices and kind of cutting out some ghost shapes that I'm going to let set on top of the mac and cheese and melt down. And the bats that you just saw were just cut up olives. And this is a taco dip that I saw on Pinterest, and I thought that was a really simple recipe. And when I tell you it tastes so good, it tastes way better than I thought it was going to. It's just taco seasoning, refried beans. You stir together, you heat it up, and then I'm just spreading over some guacamole. And again, with the sour cream, I'm just doing some lines all the way across, crisscrossing each other around the circle. And then I attempted to make lines connecting all the stripes so it would look like a web, and I had to stop because the sour cream gave out on me. But then I just improvised and threw some mayonnaise in a piping bag and just got it looking like a spider web. Next up, I just spooned some salsa around the edges. The recipe I saw, they kind of put some shredded lettuce around the edges too. You could always do that, do all your favorite toppings for tacos, cleaning up the borders a bit there. And of course, you gotta garnish a spider web with a spider. I mean, hello. And this was honestly so stinking good. Next up, I am doing some spooky fruit in case you guys want some healthier options for your Halloween party. You can pick up a bag of cuties or clementines and some pretzel sticks and make cute little pumpkins. And I just cut a couple of bananas in half, and I'm making some eyes and a mouth. The eyes are mini chocolate chips, and the mouth is a raisin. You could do any variation of this, all chocolate chips, all raisins, just to get your point across that it is a ghost face. They're seriously so cute. Look at those. And it's a really good and healthy option in case you didn't want to just do a ton of sugar and, junk for your Halloween party. And last but not least, I am doing my monster graveyard recipe. I'm doing a brownie mix here. It can be any brownie mix. Getting that all stirred up and ready to go into the oven. Once I spread that out, I am taking my break and bake chocolate chip cookies, cutting them up into small chunks and distributing them throughout the brownie mix. I'm throwing that into the oven. And then I'm going to start on my decorations for the monster graveyard. I'm just going to melt down some white chocolate. Get a little bit of oil so that your chocolate will be a little bit smoother and kind of work better for you. And then I'm taking some Nutter Butter cookies and I am spooning over the white chocolate. They are going to be my ghosts. And then of course I found these little Scooby cookies that were bone shaped right next to them, and I thought that would look awesome on the graveyard as well. So I didn't have any green food coloring, so I just used these green sprinkles and melted them into my white chocolate. I stirred it all in and it made the perfect color for a Frankenstein face. So I had these Rice Krispie Treat minis and I'm just lining them up and then dipping them into the green chocolate mixture. Once you've dipped all of your Rice Krispie treats into the mixture, you're going to pop it into the fridge to cool. I'm adding some activated charcoal to my chocolate mix, which made it like kind of a charcoal gray. And then I'm taking a half of a Nutter Butter cookie, and making some tombstones out of it. I added a little more charcoal and got a very black color to the chocolate. And now I'm just cutting the Rice Krispie treats to look like bats and coating them over with the black chocolate. I did add a little bit more oil to get it a little more runny so I could get everything coated pretty easily. And then I just took my Frankenstein faces out of the fridge and spooned on some black chocolate for the hair. And I used the tip of a knife to draw on a face. You could probably come up with something a little more sophisticated than that. I was totally improvising, but that's how the faces turned out. They're really cute. I think everything turned out nice. My ghost faces didn't turn out great. Once your brownies are done, take a few chunks out of the brownies. You're going to want to save it aside for later. Next, you're going to spoon some, this is pudding. I use chocolate pudding. You could probably do Cool Whip. Just something to add some moisture to your brownies and cookies. It's definitely going to need it. After you've covered it over with your pudding or Cool Whip, you're going to break apart and sprinkle the brownie, the handfuls of brownie onto your graveyard. And then you're going to start putting your chocolate pieces on. I put my tombstones in first, and then I put my bones in. Next, I start putting in my ghost. It's starting to look so cute. And I like that the bones and the ghosts are a little bit lighter because it's a pretty dark dessert. So I thought like maybe What else could you do to lighten it? Maybe throw in like some peanut butter sauce or, you know, caramel sauce or something to just get a little bit lighter colors. Now I'm going to start putting the bats on. And last but not least, look at how cute these little Frankenstein faces look on this graveyard. It turned out really good. I was really happy about it. And the only thing I would suggest is make sure to refrigerate this for about 3 hours, at least 3 hours, so that pudding can really set into your brownies. And this is it. This is the graveyard. I think it turned out so cute and it tasted really good. Thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate it and hope you have a happy Halloween.